So this is where I want to start off today, talking about competitive advantage. Very important topic in marketing, understanding what makes you different, what makes you better, what is your only. Anytime someone says, well, we are the only, I know I'm about to hear a competitive advantage. And so much of our marketing strategy is anchored in our competitive advantages, what it is that we're better at, what do we do differently. So let's start off first defining competitive advantage. Three factors define a competitive advantage. Number one, it has to be a core competency, your competitive advantage. Core competency meaning something that we do really well. Your competitive advantage has to be a core competency. Secondly, a strength, again, something you do well. Second, for something to be a competitive advantage, it has to be unique to your business. It cannot be something that each of your competitors may also claim to be theirs. You need to be able to say, okay, we are the only ones that do blank. That makes it a competitive advantage. It needs to be unique. And then third, for something to be a competitive advantage, it has to be something that is of value, of importance to your customers. It has to be something they need, something they want for it to be a competitive advantage. So you might have something that distinguishes you, something that is a real strength of your business, but if it's not important to your customers, if they don't value that, it's not a competitive advantage. Okay, so those are the three things that define a competitive advantage. So you see the next item on that same page, it asks you to identify three of your company's competitive advantages. Now that you know what a competitive advantage is, what are three of your competitive advantages? Take a moment, write those down there on that same page.
So is it all three, or is it going to be one of?
No, I'd like you to identify three.
I get that, but is a competitive advantage all three components that you just mentioned?
Yes,
all
yes,
three factors?
yeah, that's the litmus test. A, it's got to be a core competency. B, it's got to be unique to your business. And C, something that's valued by your customers. So what are your competitive advantages? You would find these in your marketing materials, PowerPoint, your advertising. What is it that you brag about relative to your business? Jack Welch is famous for saying, if you don't have a competitive advantage, don't compete. If you don't have a competitive advantage, don't compete. Very hard to compete without it. There's a study that was done not long ago that found that almost 95% of company employees lacked agreement as to what their company's competitive advantage is. That's astounding to think that such a high percentage of employees aren't sure what their company's competitive advantages are. So let's hear some examples. Let's see, John, we'll start with you. Competitive advantage, what comes to mind?
Well, for Mathnasium, we teach only math. I mean, that's our expertise. You know, we don't try to do English and science and history and all the rest of that stuff. And so we were an expert in one area. So, you know, we specialize.
So we specialize, a single focus. Good. Jason, how about for you? And Mike, you'll be next. Jason, a competitive advantage.
A little bit on the opposite of that idea is that we're actually multidisciplinary, so we're able to bridge the gap between the scientists and engineers.
Okay, good. Mike, how about for you, a competitive advantage?
All our coffee is 100% Arabica beans and custom small batch roasted, not continuously roasted, which differs from the big folks out there.
Okay, so your uniqueness is in the product itself and the nature of the product itself. Good. Julie, what came to mind for you? A competitive advantage. And Clara, you'll be next.
So at Positive Recovery, our curriculum that we utilize is our competitive advantage for sure, because it's all based in positive psychology. So everything that we do, that's who we say we are through and through, and everything that we do is couched in positive psychology.
Okay, good. So that causes you to stand apart.